Ghosting is really freaking rude. That's just what I think. Call me a traditionalist. Welcome back to my channel. It's me and Skylar with another pick a card reading for you. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like, comment, share. I read every single comment. The comments that I've been getting have been super intense. Honestly, I'm so humbled, you guys. I am in awe. My Instagram DMs are filled with like YouTube comments. I mean, some people don't want to comment on my YouTube, so they like DM me instead on Instagram, and they're just like, my videos resonate with them a lot, and that's obviously a very humbling experience, and I couldn't thank you guys enough for being open and vulnerable and sharing your experiences on this platform. I still have a few seats open for 21 Days of Major Arcana. You will not regret it. Go sign up. Link is under the below. It's about to start in 10-ish days, maybe less. And I am so freaking pumped. You're spending 3 weeks with me. Why wouldn't you want that, right? So today's pick a card is on will they contact you and what would they say? Now, personally, when it comes to no contact, let's be real. We all know, every single one of us on some level, why there is no contact. And we also know that it might be a good thing. By the way, this video is not for you if you don't have anyone that you're not in no contact situation with. Someone commented and was like, but I don't have anyone that I am curious about. And I was like, this video is not for you then. That's obvious. So this really applies to someone out there who is waiting for contact or knows why there is no contact and is curious as to what this other person would say. To go into a little bit of a diatribe about my whole philosophy on this topic. You guys know that I'm really big on spiritual closures. Like, why did this happen? How is it making you grow? How did it raise your consciousness? I think if you were in a no contact situation, that is the perfect opportunity for you to raise your awareness and your consciousness, because in that moment of silence, all these worst case scenarios go through your mind. Like, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? What's going on? Did I do something wrong? Should I not have said this? Or should I not have said that? And all those things that are surfacing are your programs, or your limiting beliefs, or all these like irrational fears and insecurities that I bet this other person isn't even thinking about, you know? Honestly, I think that most situations, no contact really boils down to freaking like being rude. Unless, of course, there is a very legitimate personal circumstance as to why there can't be no contact. But bar those things, I think that ghosting is really freaking rude. That's just what I think. Call me a traditionalist. I digress. So I say all this to say, when you pick a card today, pay attention to the programs that are surfacing and the limiting beliefs that are coming up in your mind. All these toxic narratives you tell yourself. It's a great opportunity to ask yourself, is this true? I don't know. I think that romantic or not, when someone doesn't reply, especially when I was younger, I used to get so worked up and I used to think like I did something wrong, it was me, blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, as I got deep into my spiritual practice, I started to realize nothing is personal. It's really not. And once I attained that level of awareness, I felt a whole newfound freedom and liberation in ways that I had never felt before. So my lower intention for you today out of this pick a card video is for you to simply get an answer, you know, make you feel better, ease that anxiety, give you something to look forward to, hopefully. But my higher level intention is for you to get the spiritual closure that you need so that you can move forward and raise your consciousness and break those old limiting beliefs and programs. That's what I really hope you take away from this. Okay, so without further ado, let's pick your pile and I will see you at your pile. Hey pile one, are you ready for your reading? So, in case you don't know, I don't know these cards in advance. Everything is super live. I mean, I pre-picked them, but I don't know what they are. So let's look at if you will hear from them and what they would say. So I get Eight of Swords reversed and Page of Pentacles reversed, the Tower reversed, Page of Wands upright, the Two of Pentacles upright, the Hermit reversed, and we have the Three of Wands upright, the Lovers reversed. We're gonna go in pretty deep, okay? The Magician reversed. This is a topic that Three of Cups upright that is very near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. So I wanna go deep. The High Priestess upright, and the Six of Swords reversed. And we're gonna save the best for the last, which is your Architect card. Okay. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's going to be a while before you hear from them. It's not going to be anytime soon. With the Hermit card at the very end. So 8 of Swords with 3 of Wands upright. Page of Pentacles. The Tower. Page of Wands. Okay, so right off the bat, I get a lot of back and forth energies here, a lot of manipulative energy here, especially as it pertains to the past. This is something that sort of, I feel that you know what's going on. I feel that you know there's sort of like somebody else in the picture, or there was, and that really broke down a lot of trust. I see a lot of trust issues here, but it's weird because despite those trust issues, one or both of you just couldn't easily walk away. That's the history, and that's sort of the foundation of this relationship. And I feel like one of the reasons why one or both of you couldn't easily walk away or break away is because of money. There was a sense of, there was something financial tying you together, and that really created a lot of confusion of boundaries and roles and responsibilities in the relationship. Is this love? Is this just a partnership? What is it? Like, I feel that obviously it started out as an intimate romantic bond that sort of took like an ugly form once the trust was broken, and once other issues like other factors like money came into the picture. And I get that the way you guys try to handle it, or maybe the way they try to handle it, was sort of throwing in like one last piece of lie and then jutting out. Just kind of like dipping, right? Or like being like, you know what, screw this relationship, and like running away. Which is very fascinating and very hurtful, to say the least. So this is what I think they would want to say to you. The no contact, so this is very strange, and this doesn't happen often, but we established from the get-go that the chances of you hearing from them is slim to none. But that doesn't mean that there's things that they don't want to say. There's obviously things they want to say to you, which is they really miss what you guys had. They really miss how you guys first started out, the friendship, the bond, and they do want to communicate. The Page of Wands is the desire to communicate. I can like imagine them like typing something out and like almost hitting send but not doing it. This applies to a select few of you, not all of you, but this is definitely a population here who's watching this, because I got this card twice now. This is a third-party situation. I would not be surprised if they got caught red-handed, where they were like, okay, you know what, fine, you're right, I am seeing someone else, or there's someone else, and they just kind of like ran, or they had to switch up. I mean, apply how it applies to you. You know what I mean? These readings are general, but you can transform it in the way that applies to you. Even if it's not another person, it could have been a conflicting interest, or conflicting something like friends or a family that kind of got in the way. So I think they feel really bad. And one of the reasons why they can't come out and communicate is because whatever this third party is, they're tied up in that, which is not cool either. But they really do desperately want to say something to you. And they also want to say that their vessel wasn't big enough to handle everything. Two of Pentacles is like the card of like juggling. This is literally a card that says like, I just couldn't handle everything. I just couldn't juggle everything. I wasn't chilling. Like I was way too stressed out. My mind, body, spirit was like very frazzled. Like I couldn't focus. Like they want to convey to you that basically they don't deserve you, because they can only handle so much. And not that you're a lot. Like I would never ever think that way about anybody or say that to anything. But if you're a tiger and they are like a rabbit, you know, a rabbit has to be with a rabbit, not a tiger. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean energy and power imbalance in that way. it's almost like their cup is too small. Like they just can't handle a whole lot. And I think one scenario that's coming to me very strongly is that you are someone who stands very strong in your power. Like, you know who you are, you know what you want, you to go after what you want. And I think that really intimidated them. I'm not really sure why I'm like hesitant to say that this was like a cheating, because I don't really feel like it was cheating, but there is a third party, which is very interesting dynamic. And see, they weren't even strong enough to properly lie to you and manipulate you. They couldn't even do that. They weren't even successful at that. I get the energy that you kind of like caught them red-handed. This came to me very strongly. I just feel like you guys were locked and loaded in this entanglement, but, you know, couldn't get away. Money was involved. They got involved in something else. They tried to lie to you. You were like, nope, I can see through your lies. You're lying through your teeth. You're such a bad liar. So then what they ended up doing is like very just like painfully break away. And now they're like, well, shit, now I miss this person, which is you, and I want to communicate, but I don't know how, because now I've like really given myself away to this other commitment. And if they keep repeating this pattern of like running away from what is more powerful than them, they're always going to run into something or someone else is going to overpower them. This is the life pattern, you see. And they really want to say that I genuinely pick up sincere apology and remorse. Like, I think they really want to apologize and tell you like they were just not a man enough for you, or not a woman enough for you. Their vessel was not big enough. They were not aligned. They were not centered, and they did something irrationally and impulsively, and they feel really, really bad. I really feel very strongly how they want to communicate. I also get the Hermit reversed and the Six of Swords reversed at the very end. So this is a very strong message. Even if they want to come forward and communicate with you, to you, and say sorry, they can't, because they're once again in a situation where they have to be careful. It's almost like if they came to you and communicated with you, they're like immediately in trouble. Not by you, but by this other situation that they're in. And also they want to say that they have additional growing to do. They have additional reflecting to do. They have additional things they need to process. And until they fully integrated everything that they want to master during this period of separation, until they're like really strong in themselves, like they can't come forward and say anything. The feeling that I get from pile one is that this is a case of someone who was very weak and didn't recognize their weakness until they ran away and got into the hands of something or someone that made them even weaker. And now they look back and they're like, oh shit, like what I had with so-and-so, which is you, was actually much more pure and genuine and more caring. And I totally took that for granted. That's a very strong message that I get. I also didn't expect the first pile, to be about a third party. So that's already very intense. If it's any condolence, just know that they do want to communicate. I mean, that 100%. I wouldn't just say that. I think people who have been reading with me for a long, long time know that when I say there is no desire to communicate, I mean it to the T. They really do want to communicate, and they just can't. Because they're so afraid of getting in trouble again. And this just came to me. I think they're also afraid of not being able to handle what direction it will go. So for example, like let's just say you guys did start talking and the conversation got out of hand. I don't think they will, once again, it comes back to like personal power. They don't know how to like direct or wrangle or maneuver the conversation in a way that would be beneficial to them, or that would be actually like mutually beneficial. I just don't think they have an ability like that. So I don't think that they're just like strong enough to step forward. It's kind of like what I get here. But after this Hermit energy, just so you know, energy is always changing. So this is what I get right now, but things can always change down the line. After they master their Hermit energy, I do feel like, I mean, never say never. I do feel like they might once again give it another go to try to approach you, because after the Hermit does come someone who's like now willing to move forward and like correct things. We get the Justice energy after this. So yeah, they feel bad. They feel really shitty. And I think they kind of realize how weak they are. But they're too even weak to admit that, you know? Let's look at your guidance archetype card. And this is a message that your soul needs to hear to move through the situation. Perfect. You got the sword. The sword means clarity. It also means cut through the bullshit. It means get to the point. So what's coming to me really strongly with this card is I think that you saw them for who they really are. Remember how I told you, like, I think you had the ability to like see through their shit? Why would that change now? Why should that change now? Even if they made contact with you, even if they said all these things, what does that really change? I think the card is really asking you to honor and embrace your ability to see through deceit. And even if it's not deceit, a lack thereof, lack of transparency. And the cards are saying, don't be mad at yourself, or don't blame yourself for the way things went down. You were doing this, and that's a good thing. Clarity is always power. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I would love to hear from you guys if this makes sense in the comments. If whoever picked this pile, boom, straight out of the gate, very intense energies. So never apologize for calling someone on their shit is what's coming to me. Because I pick up a little bit of like a blame energy here, like you blame yourself, and there's really no reason to do that. This is kind of all I have for you guys today for pile 1. If this resonates, let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And also please keep in mind that this is usually a longer reading. So if you are interested in a follow-up to go deeper, all my information is in the description below and links. So definitely go check it out. Otherwise, I really enjoyed reading for you. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you at your next video. Bye. Pile 2, are you ready for your reading? Let's check this out. Okay, so as you guys know, I don't know these cards in advance. This is super live. I am in it for the surprise just as much as you are. Okay, so let's see, saving the best for the last, and we get 4 of Swords upright, 2 of Cups upright, 7 of Cups reversed, oops, the High Priestess reversed, the 9 of Swords reversed, 10 of Cups upright. Okay, wow, tables are turning. I'm going to explain what that means. The Hierophant reversed, 10 of Swords reversed, 4 of Wands upright, King of Wands upright, the Emperor upright, and Princess of Wands reversed. Okay, there's a lot of pain here. There's a lot of hurt, pain. There's this feeling of like, I don't know if I can forgive you. Like that is a phrase that came to me immediately. So let's dive straight in. This was a situation that seemed to be very promising at first, you know? It's almost like straight out of the gate when you guys first started hanging out or got to know each other. It was perfect. It brought you so much peace and tranquility is what I get. But at the same time, when you look back now, you feel like, man, I wish I never got involved. That is kind of what comes to me. I also get that this was what is going on here? I get the sense of like coming together and being a couple, but then immediately going like, I don't know, is this a good idea? Like a lot of triggers, tension, friction. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking this is a twin flame. I don't like to say that. So I'm just going to stay away from that terminology for now. But basically I get highs were super high, lows were very lows straight out of the gate. And that it caused a lot of friction and a lot of sleepless nights. What I also get is that there were 7 of Cups reversed, clarified by... I feel like one person in this situation got a little bit distracted along the way. It's almost like both of your intention was to go towards like a long-term, you know, like a long-term foundation and future together, but one person along the way got distracted and didn't follow his or her intuition and ended up acting very impulsively and crossed a line is what I get. And interesting. So basically, whoever picked this pile, I actually kind of understand why you're very confused, because I wouldn't be surprised if this was on the path of getting married or getting engaged, or, you know, having a family, settling down. Like I'm seeing babies, I'm seeing like wedding ceremonies. I'm getting a very serious imagery here, but it all suddenly came to an end because someone got very distracted. The funny thing is, I don't actually feel like it's third party. I feel like it's a different kind of, what comes to my mind is like life vision was different. Life priorities were different is kind of what I get. And now, poof, it's kind of it's disconnected. It's so funny when I do these pick-a cards, like especially no contact, like I make jokes about how it should be like about being ghosted, but it's weird. Even in my own private practice, I find that actually the no contact stuff exists. It's more prevalent in a more serious relationship than not, which is crazy to me. But I guess at the same time, it's not that crazy. So anyway, so let's keep going. So this is what they would want to say to you, and I have some levity to bring to you. They want to tell you that they were acting out of their integrity and that they acted impulsively and didn't listen to their intuition, and they feel horrible about it. They genuinely do. And actually what I'm also hearing is that they start to gain more wisdom and insight about themselves after this happened. They got more in touch with their feelings. They got more in touch with why they do what they do. It's almost like their consciousness went up and they were like, oh, I really rushed into that without really knowing what I want. It's like they start to have that aha moment. They did kind of go through a spiritual awakening is what I hear. So they want to tell you that, and I think they actually want to share all those spiritual insights with you, which is kind of funny, right? But they did go through that and they want to share that with you. Also, they want you to know, they want to tell you that they thought about this a lot and they think about you every day, and they're up at night really stressed out about this situation. And yet they can't come forward because they're so freaking stubborn and controlling and their ego is at stake. So it's like being hyper self-aware but not knowing how to fix it is the circumstance here. You know, it's a little bit like they want this to stop. They want to tell you that they really want this to stop. They want this pain to stop. I don't know the full context here, by the way. So only you understand how to go from this hot to this cold. But they feel really terrible about what happened. They're up at night thinking about the situation. They're really, really, I think, miserable. But their ego is so fragile for them to move forward and like admit anything or tell you that they were acting out of integrity and didn't listen to their intuition. But if they were to be honest with themselves, they know that they were the problem. And I don't like to play the blame game, but this comes up very strongly. By the way, I also get Aries energy here. I get Aries, Taurus, some water, just in case you were looking for signs. You're going to be happy. I see contact. I see 10 of Cups with Page of Wands. So this is why I was saying I don't think it's third party, because not only do I not see third party in here, but there is nobody else that's actually holding them back from stepping forward and communicating. It's just all like inside their head. So once again, like I said, you would know what the situation is. I don't in my bow, and this is a general reading, but what I get is like the communication card and 10 of Cups. So I can really imagine them, you know, coming around and being like, I still want this future with you. And I just had to take a mini detour to go find myself, but I'm here now. Like, and when that moment comes, the choice is totally yours. It's totally up to you whether or not you take that chance. But what I get is their desire to want to communicate. They're a bit reluctant, like they would come sooner, but I sense some reluctance that's holding them back. So they do want to come forward and say something, and I feel like eventually they will. Because I think they recognize that what they had with you, like they can't get it anywhere else. Also, 10 of Cups is soulmate energy. So maybe they had to go through all this to recognize, you know what, this is my person, this is my soulmate, it's my partner. Let's look at your archetype card. And this is a guidance for how you can move through this period. Oh, this is perfect. So while they go figure their crap out, what you can do, and the only thing you can do, is the self, which is to focus on you. You guys know that I love talking about pulling the energy and the power back to you. It's really not as cryptic as it seems. It's just about just doing you, just focusing on you. And people are like, but if I do that, wouldn't I lose this person? No, you won't. Trust me. Never. That never happens. The more you focus on you, the more you attract people, if anything. So this means don't forget to work on the driver's seat behind your consciousness. The person that's creating your reality and driving your consciousness. You know, focus on that person. Cultivate that person. Really grow that person is what your guides want you to know. Because I feel like this person is kind of having like a eat, pray, love, like kumbaya moment in their own little world. And what can you do during that time, right? The only thing you can really do is to focus on you. And I believe that you have amazing things to offer that are even unbeknownst to you. I don't know why, but I just randomly got that download. Like, I feel like there is an opportunity for you to discover the what's so special about you and your purpose during this lifetime. So I hope this resonated. If it did, please leave a comment. I love reading all your comments. And please keep in mind, this is a general reading. So if you would like to go deeper, all my information is in the link below. Feel free to hit me up if you are in a situation you want to talk about. But unlike pile one, this is a very clear yes. I do feel like you will hear from them. I just don't know when by looking at this, but I would not be surprised if eventually you do hear. So that's really positive news. The history here, though, is so tumultuous that I think you have to think about it really carefully whether or not you want this person back into your life, because you don't want a repeat of the past, even though they did grow. All right, it was a pleasure reading for you. Love your energy, and I hope to catch you at the next video. So until then, take care. Hey, pile 3. Okay, let's get straight into your reading. As you guys know, I don't know these cards in advance, so this is super live. We have Knight of Pentacles reversed. We have 8 of Cups upright. The Devil upright. 9 of Cups upright. Oopsies. The Hangman upright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knight of Wands upright. And Knight of Swords upright. Okay, interesting. Then we have the Hangwoman in reverse. Princess of Pentacles reversed. 5 of Wands reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. Oops. 10 of Pentacles upright. And we have Queen of Cups upright. Wow, okay, immediately I got Capricorn energy, Sagittarian energy, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, but doesn't have to be. Actually, I got Sagittarius twice, so I feel like there's a very strong Sagittarian energy here. Wow, okay, so there was distance here. There was distance and movement involved in here. And one person was having issues with addiction. And it seemed to be getting better, but it didn't. So somebody had to pull the plug. I also get that there were... See, the start of this relationship, it was full of compromises. It was just so much... Okay. Sorry, I have a traffic jam because like there's a lot of information coming. One person had to just make so many compromises that it got crazy. And that person got fed up. And they may not have communicated it, is kind of what I get. I feel like one person was doing all like the cleanups, the errands, the, you know, like the cooking, maybe the cleaning, just taking care of the finances, everything. Just concessions after concessions after concessions, and it was frustrating. And after that, there was some kind of distance involved. Maybe one person moved out. Maybe there was like emotional distance. And then to make matters worse, like issues of power, control, addiction came to the surface. It's almost like this relationship, it's like the onions, like the layers got peeled over time, like getting deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like, first I thought you had this problem, and what? You have this problem too? What the hell? Like, I just see this progression over time of like discovery, which is, by the way, a very specific message. So that obviously would have caused some rifts. I just have to read the history of the relationship a little bit to like get the context for why no contact. So here is what they want to say. They're very anxious about the fact that they might have lost you. They're very anxious about the fact that they might have like messed up forever. Like you were like their wish fulfilled. You were like their Nine of Cups wish fulfilled. And now that you're no longer in their life, they're like, oh shit. I feel like they were the ones that maybe kept violating your boundaries. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you were the person that set your foot down and walked away. I would not be surprised. Or maybe you gave them an ultimatum of some kind. So they really feel like you sort of got away, and that makes them very upset and anxious. I also get the Hangman, Upright, and Ten of... So they still hope to have a long-term future with you. And they recognize, so here's what they want to say. They do recognize that they have to make compromises with themselves. I can hear them being like, yeah, you know I need to like stop doing this. I know I need to stop doing that. I know I need to improve in this. It's like, I can hear them being like, I know, and I will, and I still want this. They understand that if they were to start communicating with you, they have to make a deal with you and show to you that they really change and improve is what I get here. They understand that if they were to start communicating with you, they gotta mean business, and they can't just like fuck around. Like I get that very strongly, which is good, but also it's kind of like, wow, how bad are their natural tendencies that they can't just fucking fix it, is like my question, which kind of goes back to this original history, right? Like, only you know how bad it was. Only you know whether or not it's truly fixable, right? And this person too, and I feel like they're self-aware enough to know, like, yeah, I'm gonna have to completely change who I am to be with you, but I still want to be with you. It's like, that's kind of the energy that I get. And by the way, what I just channeled right there was very specific. And they also want to tell you that this is kind of sweet. They feel like you really have your stuff together. They feel like you are so brilliant, so smart, so wise. They look up to you. I feel like they look at you as someone who can do everything. And implicitly they want to tell you like, look, you can do everything, like I'm not. I feel like they think they're not good enough for you, and in fact they want to tell you like you're emotionally intelligent, you're entrepreneurial, like you got it going, like I just have to figure my stuff out. Like, they want to tell you that they're trying to clean up their side of the street before they can move forward and approach you. They also want you to know they're still passionate about you. That never stopped. What are the odds of them communicating with you? I would say 60 to 70% out of 100. It's not a no. The only thing that is holding them back is their own anxieties of their own inadequacies. And I also feel like they're actually concerned whether or not they can actually change. And they know that if they don't, you won't take them back. So that they start to get into a funny headspace of like, well, I don't know if I can really change. So, you know, if I can't change, what's the point of even communicating? Like, I see them having their own internal debate like that. By the way, the tables could be totally turned here. You could be this person, right? They could be the ones that were fed up with your habits. This is a general reading, so apply it to how it fits you. But looking at this, I feel like there's a pretty good chance for a reconnection. The big theme with this reading is compromise, like them recognizing that they have some habits they need to break before they can get back with you, and them feeling like they really messed up big time. This is a very strange connection / reading. It's almost like, yeah, the way I am very like results oriented. Like, if I want something, I will make freaking sure I am like perfect to the T so I can have it. Something like this, it's like, I don't understand this energy where someone's like, I want to be skinny, but I'm still going to eat a gallon of ice cream. That's like the energy that I get here. And it's like, but why though? So I have human limits as to how I can actually explain this phenomena because I myself don't understand it. But once again, you being in the driver's seat, you might understand this. So let's look at your archetype card because this is going to be advice on how you can navigate the situation. So, ooh, Thanatos. Okay, so, this advice has nothing to do with this relationship or this connection. This is everything to do with you, which, you know, I love doing that. I love focusing on my clients, my audience, the person who's actually reading with me and exchanging energies. This is a message for you. This is saying, don't be afraid of growing old. Don't be afraid of being in your own energy and being alone. That's not a bad thing. This also means that you are low-key wise as heck. This situation that you're in, I have a feeling you already know what's up. You strike me as someone who already knows your boundaries, who already knows what you need, who already knows what you want. I can sense that through the lens of this other person. And I feel like you fear that because you are so aware of who you are, that you might forever be alone. And I want you to know, A, if that's not what you want, that's not going to happen. But B, that puts you ahead of the game compared to so many people who don't know what they want. I actually think people who don't know what they want are problems. Like problems to each other and to society. You, my friend, are the solution. Don't apologize for being a solution, even if that puts you at a minority. So, wow. That came through so powerfully. Like, I'm like kind of buzzed. This is cool. So let me know how this resonates. I would love to hear from you. I mean, obviously this is still a general reading. So if you'd like to go deeper, my information is in the description below. Hit me up. Otherwise, it was a great pleasure reading for you. And I love reading comments. So if this is you, please drop a comment below. I really appreciate that. Otherwise, it's kind of all I had. So hope to see you at your next video. So take care. Bye. Hi, Pile 4. Okay, let's get into your reading. So as you know, I don't know any of these cards before I start shooting. So I am in for the surprise just as much as you are. So we have Justice upright and the Sun upright. 10 of Wands reversed. 7 of Wands reversed. Queen of Wands reversed. Page of Cups upright. They're going to communicate with you immediately. Sorry, spoiler alert, but that's why you're watching this video anyway. 2 of Swords upright, 10 of Wands reversed, 7 of Pentacles upright, the Empress reversed, and 10 of Cups upright. And at last but not least, 9 of Cups reversed. Okay. Wow. So, you know, this was actually a pretty balanced relationship. This was actually, at least on the surface, on the outside, there was really nothing wrong with this situation. You guys were fair to each other, loving, caring, affectionate, all that stuff. But what really got in the way, I feel like, is like the first thing that's coming to my mind is work. That's the obvious one. The other thing that's coming to my mind is obligations. Responsibilities and obligations were a big thing that kind of like got in the way. And one or both of you just couldn't handle the stress is kind of what I get here. The other thing that I'm hearing is that you guys were almost trying too hard to be happy, and it to a point where it became a project. I almost don't even think you had to try that hard. But for whatever reason, there was so much pressure to perform and be performative to other people, like to prove that you're happy together or something. So it kind of became like a burden and a project. Even though, like, really, when the world is like not paying attention, like you guys are just chilling and you're fine being yourselves, but for whatever reason, you have to like put in so much artificial effort. I'm also getting Seven of Pentacles. By the way, I get Leo energy here and Libra, but doesn't have to be. Cancer too. But 10 of Wands reversed and 7 of Pentacles. So, my goodness, there's a lot. The big theme here is effort, investment. So just like, just pouring so much into one another to a point where it kind of got exhausting. Immediately what's coming to me is there was too much expectation on the outcome of this relationship. That was the issue. That was a downfall. It was really promising. There was no real problem, and yet there was so much pressure to be successful for you guys to be together. I don't know why. It could be parental pressure, it could be friends, family, society, or whatever, but like this desire to prove to the world that you guys are good together, even though, like, even without doing all that, you guys are probably fine. I get that because we get the project card, 10 of Wands with 7 of Pentacles. It's like putting in a ton of work to like make it grow, right? What they want to say to you. So, they want to say to you that all the arguments and fights that you guys had, really had nothing to do with you guys. And that they felt like when you guys fought, when you guys argued, they saw parts of you that they know wasn't really you. They want you to know that. They want you to know, like, hey, like, even though I saw this ugly parts, I just know that wasn't you being your true self. So they want to acknowledge that. They also want you to know that they still really want this thing with you. 10 of Cups and Queen of Wands reverse. They still really want this thing with you. They still want a long-term future. They still see you as their soulmate. The 10 of Cups is a soulmate card, and they still see you as someone that they can go to for advice. I feel like they feel like you're more mature than them. And also, I feel that they want to say to you that they may not always agree with you, but that at the end of the day that they know they can trust you. There's a lot of, this is really lovely, I just got really emotional, but there's a lot of acknowledgement that they want to give to you that what really made things fall apart wasn't you two. It was the outside. And that made one or both of you guys act outside of your integrity. They want you to acknowledge, they want to acknowledge to you that they know it wasn't you, and maybe it was even them too. If anything, I think they feel bad that they were so susceptible to outside energy. This is a very interesting reading. I don't think I've all the piles today are very unique, I have to be honest. Like, all the scenarios, whoever's watching all this stuff, the scenarios must be very specific and unconventional. It's almost like it was meant to, these messages are so tailor-made for a particular population. Ultimately, what they want to say to you is sorry. They want to apologize. Page of Cups is like the prototypical apology card, and also that they want to move forward and pick up where you guys left off. So, Knight of Cups reverse. They want you to know that they still think about you that way and that they feel romantic towards you, but they doubt whether or not it's a good idea during this time. There will be communication. There will be contact. Just hands down, there will be contact. And there will be an apology. But as far as like romance goes, even though they want it, I think they wonder if it's a good idea, because there was so much just outside shit that it caused so much damage. By the way, even if it's not outside shit for whatever reason, you guys still have this pressure to perform. I don't know why. I feel like you do though. So after having gone through that, I think they wonder like, yeah, but is it a good idea to like do that again? Like they are wondering about that, but they absolutely feel like they owe you an apology for letting the outside get to them so much. Let's look at your archetype card, and this is a guidance card to help you like move through this. We've got the Destroyer. Oh my goodness, I love these. This makes so much sense. So the Destroyer is about how sometimes things just have to be destroyed so that you can completely start over. This is kind of like the Tower energy in tarot. It's a little bit like things have to fall apart so that better things can come in. I am also hearing that whatever the intervention was, whatever this outside thing was, it was almost like by design, by the universe, so that you guys would be put through it and then grow. And it doesn't matter what the outcome is, whether or not you guys get back together or not. Like that whole journey had to take place so that you guys can understand the transformative power that exists within you. It's also validating that, yeah, whatever you guys did build up, it probably feels very destroyed right now. But that's okay. That's okay because it's made space for new. Whether it means you're meeting someone new, or you guys can come together and start anew. And now you've learned your lesson to not listen to other people. And that the space between you two is between you two and not other people. So I hope this resonated. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love hearing from you. It helps me out a ton. And yeah, whoever this is, very interesting reading. If you want to go deeper and do a follow-up reading with me, I have my links in the description below. So let me know. Let me know what you think. And if you want to follow up, my info is down there. Otherwise, I loved reading for you. It's my absolute pleasure to be able to assist people through these readings. So if you would like to go deeper, do not hesitate to hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you at your next video. Take care. Bye-bye.